guys, welcome back to the channel. So let's talk Airstream. I bought a 1969 Airstream Safari. It's a 23 foot, and I knew when I bought it that the frame was in really bad condition. So what I decided to do was buy a brand new frame. It was a brand new 2016 Airstream that was put on a 2-inch ball by mistake at the dealership, and it never even made it home. Once it was totaled, they decided to get rid of it. They scrapped the body and sold off all of the usable parts. The width is exactly the same as my 1969. The length is about 3.5 inches shorter for the 2016. So I do have a little bit of work to get the old shell on the new frame, but I mean, it's still way easier to get the old shell on a new frame than it would be to rebuild the frame that I currently have. So that's my plan. Now, before you see the clips, you will notice that I bought this frame many months ago. And so it's going to be real obvious whenever you see the clips. But it is the next step. Now that I've got the shell completely cleaned up and ready to go, the next step is going to be to move the shell from its current frame to the new frame. Okay, so the guys that totaled this trailer, they cut the entire shell off, and they probably took the shell to scrap metal, would be my guess, because they even cut out part of the belly pan. Just real rough cuts. They just hacked it up. So I have to get all of this stuff off of the C channel, which I've already done a little bit. I've pulled loose the top part of the belly pan where it just wraps the curves here. I've drilled all of those out. Actually, I still have a couple. I started that one and it didn't go through, so I'm just gonna get a bigger drill bit and just spin the drill bit on that head for like half a second, and there's so little metal there, it'll just pop right off. And then I have to drill out every single one of these. So that's next. More hidden rivets. I don't know if you can tell, but that is another rivet underneath all that silicone. And there's another one right there. There it is, right there. And I didn't even see this one before, but now that I'm shooting video, there's another one. I'm gonna be drilling for a while. I have all of the C channel cleared off from the shell that they had left. So now I've got to cut through these bolts, and then there's a couple where I just had to unscrew them. But I tried to just take the nuts off of these, and the head just spins underneath, and there's nothing to grab onto. So I'm having to just cut all these off, and once I get these cut off, then the C channel will be completely free from the frame. And so I'll have that little bit of patchwork to do on the steps, the outriggers for the steps, and then this thing will be ready to put the old shell from our 69 onto this new frame. So here we go, I'll cut these off. Okay, so I've got a flathead screwdriver. I can just try to, I cut through the nut, like cut it directly in half. So I can try to just pry off the extra pieces, or I've got some pliers here where I can twist it off if I need to, or in this case it just broke in half. And then there's a little washer on here, which that's trash also because I kind of cut through that a little bit. So now it's free. I just need to get a hammer and a punch and drive that straight through all the way through the C-channel and through the subfloor. And once I get all of these done, then I can pull everything off. It'll be ready to go. Hopefully this is all free now. The whole front half. There it is, done. This jar of POR15 was left over from the last Airstream that I did, so that had to be at least a year ago. And I opened it up today and the stuff was still good. There's barely any left now, but it was still good when I opened it. I just stirred it up, it was ready to go. So I went ahead and coated anything that was questionable. You know, any little nicks, the bottom of the outriggers, I went ahead and coated. I think I coated all of the bottoms. Any place where there was a chip in the paint, I went ahead and put some POR15 on there just to be safe. So I think this is finished. Ready to put the old shell on the new frame now.